You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your Young and the Restless early edition spoilers for July 10th through 14th, 2023. There's some exciting stuff happening, and we're going to dig into all that. But if you haven't already, please reach down and click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Y&R spoilers, news, and other updates. All right, going into next week, we have got Ashley Abbott one-upping Jack Abbott, and I'm assuming this has something to do with her plans to open this competing beauty company with Tucker McCall. And if you'll remember, Ashley Abbott owns, because she owns a lot of the patents that Jabot products are based on. She already took them away from them once when she and Jack had that whole thing because he had put in a policy saying only a blood Abbott could be CEO. And so she messed with his paternity test to make him think John wasn't his dad either. And of course, John Abbott is not her biological father because Dina Mergeron was quite a bad girl back in the day. And so she might yank those patents away again, and if so, that could cause a real problem. And so maybe that's what she pushes into Jack's face next week, because she's just being really temperamental about him and Diane. Even Tucker McCall, who likes to stir the pot, thinks that Ashley is going too far, and he's finding her petty stuff with her brother and Diane kind of boring, and he let her know that. And so maybe she will chill out, but I don't know. We're also going to see Phyllis Summers having to deal with things not going quite her way. Now, she already talked to Michael Baldwin about how he could keep her from going to prison for what she's done. And he said that he could probably get rid of some of the charges, but not all of the charges. But that's just him talking about his expertise as an attorney. The problem is the DA is Christine Williams, and Christine really has a bone to pick with Phyllis. Remember, way back in the day, Phyllis was very upset about Christine, and she tried to run her down, and Paul jumped in front of the car, and so he wound up injured. And then it was literally like 12 years before Cricket found out that it was Phyllis that ran her down. And by then the statute of limitations had expired, and Christine still tried to find a way to work around that by saying she attacked an officer of the court. But at the point that it happened, Christine wasn't in a public position. I think there was some reason that trying a different sort of charge wouldn't stick. So this is the chance that Christine has to throw the book with both hands right in Phyllis's face and put Phyllis behind bars for trying to kill her all those years ago. Because let's be real, Phyllis was trying to kill her all those years ago. So it could be that despite Michael's winning legal arguments, Christine's like, no, I'm going to pursue all the charges. And she also could say, I'm going to pursue charges against Summer, and basically hold Phyllis's feet to the fire and say that the only thing I might do is drop some of the charges against your daughter if you plead guilty and go to prison. So Phyllis is not going to like whatever is coming her way next week, but she is at least back in more scenes. We're also going to see the return of Heather Stevens. Vail Bloom is back, and this is kind of an interesting development because of the timing. So the last time she was in town, or one of the last two times she was in town, Daniel Romalotti talked to her about them reconciling, giving their marriage another chance. And she's like, no, I've met a new guy. We've been dating. I'm in love with this new guy. And she's like, forget it. So while in Genoa City, Daniel has been pursuing a renewed romance with Lily Winters, and things might be moving forward with them. She accepted an offer from Devon Hamilton to move into the penthouse. She likes it because it has a lot of memories there of Neil Winters for her, which she feels like is important. And so she pretty easily accepts his offer, and that's because Devon and Abby are going to be moving out. So with Lily at the penthouse, which is lots of room, that could open the door for her and Daniel to get more serious. However, if Heather comes back and says, hey, maybe I was too hasty and things didn't work out with this guy, can we give it another try? Maybe Daniel will feel obligated to try again with Heather because she's the one who's been raising his daughter with him. We'll just have to wait and see, but especially because Christel Khalil, who plays Lily Winters, is pregnant in real life. She's got a good-sized baby bump, and that means she's probably going to be going out on maternity leave. So maybe they're bringing back Heather Stevens as a romantic foil to temporarily distract him while Christel Khalil is out on maternity leave and they can move their storyline into a new phase. We'll have to wait and see. We also have a spoiler for the week of July 10th. It says that Devon Hamilton honors his legacy. I feel pretty strongly that that is his Chancellor side of the family legacy that he is pursuing, because Devon had officially said he was going to change his last name to Winters. So he's actually supposed to be Devon Winters now, not Devon Hamilton anymore. And the other part of the legacy, though, is the fact that he is Catherine Chancellor's grandson. And I think what this spoiler is referring to is his decision for him and Abby to move in with Dominic into the Chancellor mansion. And, you know, of course, he and Chancellor are related, and Chance has been living in the house, but he doesn't really like dealing with the big house all alone. And he said he'd rather get an apartment. So I'm wondering if he's going to pop up in one of those rooms at the GCAC, and that's because that's where Summer Newman is going to be staying now that she's moved out of the house since Kyle said he wanted a break. And we do feel strongly that Summer and Chance are going to be canoodling soon, and then both living at the GCAC would be a good way to dig into that. That way they're always running into each other. So as Devon moves in there, Chance is going to probably move into the GCAC where Summer is also living, and that should be interesting. A lot of people seem really keen on the idea of them getting romantic. All right, we've got one less early edition Y&R spoiler. Before we dig into that, if you haven't, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. And click a like if you're enjoying these early spoilers. All right, the last one is Victor Newman comes to Sharon Newman's aid. I don't think that this is one of those life and death Cameron, Kirsten kind of things. What I'm wondering is if it's about that company that Crazy Cameron left to Sharon. Remember, it's a tech company, and she wanted to sell it. She talked to Nick about this. She wanted to sell it and use the money for some kind of charity to benefit people that predators like Cameron target, like abused women. So Victor may buy the company from her if Nick mentions it to him, or if he runs into Sharon and she mentions it, because Newman Enterprises has a technical arm, Newman Media has a technical arm, and McCall Holdings also has media and tech stuff. So he could pick it up and either give it to Adam or give it to Victoria. Of course, if he gave it to Adam, Victoria would have a complete conniption fit, and that's always fun to watch. Let us know what you think about these early spoilers and if you're excited for next week on Y&R.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.